welcome to my channel. My name is Anya and in today's video I want to do a tutorial using the At First Sight palette, which was a collaboration between RawBeautyKristi and Colourpop. Now I have filmed this video already and in editing realised I never did an intro, so hello, me, different shirt, different day. But I got this as a birthday gift from my mum and I have loved playing with it. There is going to be a bit of a review at the end, slash just me ranting. It was for 30 minutes about how much I like it, but I think I've cut it down, hopefully. The look I want to do today focuses mainly on this side of the palette, so this little L here on the left side with Puffball, Evergreen, Fiddlehead and Emerald City. I have really been into these sort of green, mossy, olive toned eyes recently, which is something that I never used to like, but I've really enjoyed it this year. So I wanted to do a look with that, but because the video is already quite long, I'm just going to take you into the tutorial and there's going to be a review at the end. So I'm going to start off by taking a little bit of Puffball on a Duo Fiber Super Fluffy brush, and I'm just going to run this through my crease. And I want it to be very light because I want to use it as a bit of a transition and just get it into the crease as a guide for where I want to put Fiddlehead later. Then I'm going to move into a little bit of a stiffer eyeshadow brush. This is the eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to dip it straight into Fiddlehead and apply that over where I put the brown shade into my crease, and also a little bit above where my eye crease is because I have a lot of brow bone space and I quite like to use a little bit of that. I'm also going to put this on the outer, probably outer third or so of my lid. I want to keep the shape kind of rounded, so I'm not gonna bring it super far out on the outer corner, and then just swapping back to the other brush to blend. And something that I really like doing whenever I'm wearing these kinds of olivey, grungy, mossy greens is adding a little bit of a green that is a little bit brighter. So I'm going to dip ever so slightly into Emerald City. I'm using the same e.l.f. brush. And just touch the outer edges. I'm not putting that on the lid, just in the crease, to add a little bit more green to it. And I'm just adding a little bit and then blending and just going back and forth until I'm happy with how it looks. It's quite pigmented, so I don't think I'm going to have to go back multiple times, but I'm going to see if I want to bring it further in or not. And I just like adding a little bit of something that is a bit more vibrant as well, because I find that the mossier greens, they tend to look a little bit dirty on me if I don't add anything else to them. So I just like adding a touch of something else. I'm also going to do the outer edge, so the outer corner of my lid. You can also, if you don't want to add in this green, you can use Chanterelle, which is the yellow in the palette. That's going to make it a little bit more yellow, and I think that's also kind of nice. I'm just going to take a clean other brush. I don't know where it's from. I have had it for many years and it's just very similar to the e.l.f. one, it's just a little bit less dense. And I'm just going to go around the edge, and my neighbours are making noise again. And I am going to catch the other eye up to speed and have a little bit of a break. I'm then going to take Fiddlehead on the e.l.f. brush and do my lower lash line. And as I've had a little bit of a break here, I've decided I'm going to do, I think it's a halo eye when you put the dark shade both on the inner part and the outer part and then just light up the centre. I don't do it often. I've already messed up with the lower lash line a little bit though because I haven't left a clear space in the middle. It's probably going to be fine. I think I want to just do the matte all the way anyway. Then taking the Real Techniques brush and blending that. I'm then going to take, I'm using the same brush. I like doing looks with the least amount of things possible, and attempt to place fiddlehead on the inner part without getting it everywhere, which I'm very good at. I may have to swap to a smaller brush. We will see. That looks okay. I'm going to clean up a little bit more space on the lid because I've pretty much covered my entire eyelid. This would be easier, just cover your lid and then carve out a bit of space once you're done. But I didn't think this far when I began. I'm going to grab a Q-tip and get a little bit more room in the middle of my lid here. If you want to, you can put a dab of concealer there to properly like clean out space. I'm not too fast. I'm just gonna make myself a little bit of room at the centre-ish of my lids. I'm then going to take Evergreen. I'm going to use my finger. I just think it's going to work better that way. And just pop that in the centre. Kind of want something maybe that is a little bit shiny in that, but I don't think I have it in that colour because I don't own a lot of colours like this. I may have one. I'm going to see if I can find it. But I've used it a little bit this year and I've really fallen in love with green eyeshadow, and especially this kind of mossy green. The colour is not described as a duochrome. Evergreen is not described as a duochrome. I don't think it is. But on me, I read it as a bit of a duochrome because I can really see almost like a brownish base. It's that swatch right there. But it has a really pretty green reflect that shows up. It is gorgeous. I really like it. And I really like that look. I don't know what to do with the inner corner though. I'm not sure if I'm going to just put that in the inner corner as well, or if I'm going to use my face highlight and brow bone shade in the inner corner. What do I want to do on the waterline though? Do I want to use this? I think this could kind of work and keep it a little bit open, or do I want to go for a green? Let's do green. Let's actually do a halo part and keep the middle part light. The green line I'm using is from Hallberg. It's Calm, which is a green. I'm going to put that on the outer and inner part. I'm going to put a touch of the nude one just in the centre. Does that look weird? I can't tell. Just use my finger to blend it ever so slightly together. I think that's a little better. I'm going to put mascara on and then come back and do the face. I really like it. I've really fallen in love with green eyeshadow. I wanted to wear some matching earrings. These are from Nectar Jewellery. I really like them. So I put on mascara. I tried to put like individual false lashes and I got one on this eye and I gave up because I was messing up the mascara. For my face, I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer. This one is from No7. My face always needs a little bit of bronzer. I feel like whenever I'm wearing anything that is green. To avoid looking sick, I'm going to put that on my forehead, on my cheeks, and blending into the temples. And also a little bit on the nose. I'm going to keep my blush fairly neutral as well. I'm using Tawny Peach and this is from H&M. It looks a little bit like a bronzer. It's their Pure Radiance blushes. These are really, really nice. I'm going to focus it quite low, sort of where I would put a bronzer, and more so to the outer parts of my face. And then I'm going to go overboard with highlighter afterwards because my skin is being dry at the moment and it kind of needs it. For highlighter, I have the How We Do palette from Mekka, which was limited edition. I'm going to use the lightest shade and it's just a light gold. And I'm going to put this almost over my entire face, but cheekbones. I'm going to put this on my nose, on my forehead. This is also going to be on my brow bone and in the corner. I really like the glow that gives. I also just touch a little bit above my eyebrow and blending what remains into the centre of my forehead. Final product is going to be the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade London, which is a light brown with a lot of yellow in it. That's the finished look. I have really enjoyed playing with this palette in February. I'm unsure when the video is going to go up because I've had some real issues with my brain recently. I've started therapy and it's been really tough, and my brain has turned to mush, so I have had zero concentration, zero focus. I can't do anything for more than maybe 10 minutes at a time, and even then it's a struggle. I'm hopeful that it's gonna settle down at some point, I hope, but it's been hard. My brain hasn't worked and I've had real problems with putting on makeup, which is something that I do to relax, to have fun. It's also why I haven't been in a video other than my hands for like 2 months. I really enjoyed this palette. So I got this, I picked it up in December as my birthday gift from my mother, and I have loved this. I knew that I was gonna really enjoy essentially the middle part with the warm sort of rusty terracotta red, the orangey yellow, the gold, and then the dark brown. I live for these colours and I really like them. But I've also played around with this little corner on the left side of the palette and I've fallen in love. I've really enjoyed green. I had a palette of green singles in January that I played with, and when I picked this up at the end of January I knew that this was the look that I was going to do, and I have absolutely adored it, and I've been wanting to do a look with this. I know this was limited edition. It's currently sold out on the Colourpop website. I'm not sure if it's going to be back, but I will say a lot of these type of colours are colours you're going to find in other palettes as singles as well. And I have a look that I've done. I didn't manage to take a picture of it. I kind of wish I did, so I'm absolutely going to redo it. Using these two on the right side of the palette, Old Growth and Amanita, which Old Growth is kind of like a mauvey pink rust. Well, mauvey pink dusty rose kind of shade, and then Amanita is a really beautiful plum. And I saw a picture on Instagram from the username is Pale Canvas. She's a makeup artist from Croatia, and she did this absolutely gorgeous look with a sort of plummy colour as a liner that went into the crease and glitter on the eyelid. I didn't use glitter on my eyes because I don't like using glitter on my eyes, but I used the shade Earth Shine by Colourpop, which is a duochrome, sort of like a pink to blue shifting duochrome. I put that all over the lid and I loved it. I will recreate that look. I'm unsure if it's going to be in a video or not. I have so many looks that I want to do a video on, but my brain and my body isn't working well. So some of those looks are going to be on Instagram instead. I would recommend following me there. I don't post very frequently, I'm bad at any social media, but my makeup Instagram, which is at AniaPMF, I post usually makeup. Most of it is just products I used up, products I'm hitting pan on, working on, and swatches of the stuff that I've been loving. I recently posted swatches. I say recently, when I filmed this, I have recently posted the swatches of this that I took, and when I did those swatches, I died a little bit. I was considering also doing like 5 looks with this palette because I can absolutely do multiple looks with this, but again they're probably going to end up coming at some point on Instagram or something. I have absolutely enjoyed it because I was originally going to pass on this palette. Because I was like, yeah, I have those colours already in my singles or in my other palettes, and at that point, which was late last year, I was like, yeah, I don't like greens, so you know, a decent chunk of the palette isn't for me. The warm tones I already own. I'm not really into purple, so I was like, yeah, the palette isn't for me. It's beautiful, but it's not for me. And then I started seeing swatches and looks that people made with it, and I was like, I want it, I want it. So I asked for it for my birthday, and I was placing a Colourpop order in December anyway. Put it in there because my mum wanted to get it for me, and I don't regret it. I do have similar shades in other palettes and stuff, but this to me is just, it's so nice. It's perfection. So I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I will say from the times I've used this, I haven't used all shades yet. The one I haven't used at the moment is Let It Rain, which is the sparkly black with orange glitter. I have a look I want to do for that it's like very dramatic for me. And then I have not used Pacific Northwest. But my favourite shades, I'm going to just finger swatch some for you here so that you can share in my joy. So I have Chanterelle, which is the yellow. That's Amanita, which is the plum. That's Pacific Northwest, or PNW, and that is Emerald City. That was an awful swatch by me. I can never swatch well with my pinky. But these were like the first shades that I was just dying to get my hands on. I also really want to dress in that plum shade. It is just spectacularly gorgeous, and having worn almost all of them on my eyes, they are amazing. They are really, really pigmented, so be careful. They also do have some fallout, and for me fallout isn't a deal breaker. I can deal with it as long as it, you know, behaves nicely when I try to get it off my face. And so far it's behaved fairly well. They have fallout, but they are very pigmented, and I will say if you're going to use your fingers for any of the mattes, they are also quite soft and have a tendency to flake a little bit. I really like that the shades in here that are deep, so Emerald City, PNW, Amarita, as well as Homegrown, the mattes. I am more likely to reach for those kind of shades in a matte, and I also have shimmer shades that can pair with them fairly nicely, so I don't really need it. And when it comes to palettes, this has turned into a mini review here. I have a preference for smaller palettes. In honesty, the Colourpop 12 pans, which is this size, are my favourite. They are pretty much perfect for me. They're not too big. I usually get a decent selection of colours in here, and especially with this I get something that brings me a little bit out of my comfort zone. Recently that has been the greens, which is the row on the left of the palette. I have my favourite type of colours, which is the middle 4 on the 2 top rows there. And then I have something that I don't reach for very often, which are the plums and the purple over there, the black and the blue. And I'm excited to play more with it. I'm really glad I picked it up. I think it is great. Before I sign off, something I also ended up buying from the launch was the Super Shock Shadow in Campfire. I have a thing for copper eyeshadow, and this just spoke to me. Now, is this almost identical to about 6 other eyeshadows I own? Yeah. Do I care? Not particularly, no. It's gorgeous, and I'm excited to use it. I really like the Super Shock formulation. It's my favourite eyeshadow formulation. But this one I picked up because one of the shades in the palette, which is Raina, which is the terracotta colour, I knew I would pair it with this. And I also could easily deepen up with Homegrown, which is the bottom swatch. This to me is my perfect like trio, and if I wanted to make it a quad, I'd put the yellow in. The yellow is awfully swatched because I'm wearing hand cream on the bottom there. But this is just like, this is heaven to me. This is perfect. This is anything I would need in a warm quad that I could wear every single day and not get tired of it. I just love the palette, and if the colour story is something that interests you and you don't have anything that is similar, if they end up doing a restock, I would absolutely recommend the palette. From going, when it released, to going like, yeah, that is gorgeous but I don't need it, to now being like, I really am happy that I bought it, because the looks that I have done with this so far, this probably being the only exception, I can't really do with my other shades, or I can. I just haven't thought of doing them. There's something about having all of this in a palette. It absolutely reminds me of a forest, which is, you know, the theme. This was a rambly makeup playtime tutorial thingy. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. If you have the palette, tell me your favourite colour combinations in it that aren't like the ones I would have paired together. Because something that I'm bad with is pairing opposite colours together, or pairing multiple colours together. So with the greens, I have gone with greens, but I have seen people bring in like red and green and blue and stuff, and I can never do it. So if you know of a good colour combination in the palette, even if you don't think it's going to suit me and it's not something that I like, tell me. Just pop it in the comments, because I want to step out of my comfort zone this year a little bit with makeup, and eyeshadow I feel is the easiest way to do it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm now going to go make dinner because I'm getting kind of hungry. And to RawBeautyKristi and Colourpop, you did an absolutely amazing job with this. It may honestly, if not my favourite eyeshadow palette, because I think it's going to be hard to beat the Honey for me, this is a close second, if they're not tying. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you sometimes in the future. Bye!